Local and national artists in a wide array of styles. Before or after your show, check out the new Maggie's Lounge, a perfect spot to visit with friends. It's open Wednesdays through Sundays beginning at 4:30 with cocktails and light fare. And you don't need a ticket to enjoy the great atmosphere of Maggie's. Crooner's Supper Club off Moore Lake and Highway 65. A little piece of old school nightlife in the 21st century.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950, here to tell you about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If your home was hit with the most recent storms, trust the most well-reviewed exterior construction company, Snap Construction, for a free home inspection.
This is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. There are a lot of great construction companies in town. My advice is to take your time and do your research. Make sure they are locally owned and that they guarantee their craftsmanship for life. Also, you want to find a company that's been in business for at least 10 years. You want to work with a company that's going to be there long after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims, and we'll help you through the process.
Don't go with the out-of-town fly-by-night contractor. Most storm damage goes missed by the untrained eye. Trust Snap Construction for your free storm damage evaluation. For your free storm damage evaluation, call Snap Construction at 612-333-SNAP or visit them online at snapconstruction.com. That's 612-333-SNAP or snapconstruction.com.
A home that needs new everything. Plus the kitchen sink. Life math is complicated. Affinity Plus makes it easier. With great rates on a home equity line of credit, we make tackling home projects less stressful. Visit affinityplus.org/rates to learn more today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 12, Friday sunny with a high near 28, and Saturday sunny with a high around 41. Experience the comfort of Nightingale, your neighborhood bar and restaurant. Enjoy American classics like the famous Nightingale Burger, Ginger Tamari Chicken Wings, and Duck Pastrami Reuben. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with their full menu served until midnight. Takeout also available at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. He didn't cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Daga. This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Hey, I hope I'm coming in good. I'm here in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. God's country here for us Ho-Chunks. And hey. And so I hope I'm coming in good, and it's great to be here. I'll be back in Minnesota tomorrow and all safe and sound. Haley, how are you doing there in Minnesota? How's the weather?
Oh, I'm good. You know, it's a lot less windier than it was yesterday, but I'm wishing for some snow. I'm not going to lie. I'm got my skis out. They're ready to go. So,
well, you know, people here, and I don't know if it's just a demographic, but we're all like crabbing about winter, and I'm going, it's only been 2 days.
I know, seriously. I'm like, well, like, I don't know. Thankfully, we don't have. I like to get snow around the holiday, like the winter holiday, the winter solstice, like the 21st. But like the Halloween, Christmas, or the snowstorm that happened back in the day, That's a little too
91.
early for me.
Yeah. What's interesting about that snowstorm that everyone talks about is that I remember it snowed those 2 days, 39 inches, and the whole town was shut down. But then, like 2 weeks later, it snowed another 18 inches. I was in a wedding and it snowed another 18 inches that year. And then the rest of the winter didn't snow at all. It was just cold.
Oh, bummer. I don't think I'd
Yeah.
like that.
It was just
Well,
kind of hard drifts of snow everywhere.
yeah, yeah. I was looking for like a native ski group to join or something. So if there's any fellow native skiers out there, comment on our Native Roots, message us, and I'll meet you out there on those slopes.
I think you should start one.
I know. If it's not there, then gotta pull up what do they say? Like a seat to the table, but it's more like a
Right.
chairlift to the mountain.
There you go. Pull your chairlift up to the table. Hey, we only got like a minute left here, and I wanted to get to Governor Evers. Do we have time?
We sure do. Yeah. Weekly update from the Wisconsin Governor, Tony Evers.
They are Native Roots Radio. Governor Tony Evers here with my weekly update. Our small, locally owned businesses are the hearts of our communities. From retail to restaurants, art galleries to coffee shops, small businesses support Wisconsin families, create community spaces, and bring unique products and services to every corner of our state. Small businesses are also more likely to hire locally, employing about half of Wisconsin workers, buy supplies locally, and give back to their communities. And it's estimated about 2/3 of every dollar spent at a small business stays in the local community. And that's why my administration and I have been proud to champion the success of Wisconsin's small businesses, either through our Main Street Bounce Back Grant program that helped more than 9,000 businesses open or expand their storefronts in all 72 counties in the state, or through our Community Development Investment in Vibrant Spaces grant programs. Because when our small businesses succeed, our communities and local and statewide economies succeed. So I proclaim this holiday season the Shop Small Wisconsin season to celebrate all Wisconsin's unique and wonderful small businesses. From Baraboo to Superior to Menasha and everywhere in between, we have thousands of small businesses across our state where you can find the perfect, one-of-a-kind gift for your loved ones. Now's the perfect time to visit your favorite small businesses, maybe check out a couple new ones too, and show your support to our neighbors and communities. This holiday season, let's shop small, Wisconsin. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Robert, and Native Roots Radio.
Well, thank you, Governor Evers. Yeah, small businesses is where it's at. I think the economy, and we're a small business here at Native Roots Radio, and we also have our small business Native Roots Trading Post, and soon to be coming our ad agency, Native Roots Ads, so or agency.
There you go.
Get some t-shirts going here. Oh, wow.
Dude, speaking of t-shirts, where is the next market that you're going to be at with Native Roots Trading Post?
I'm going to be at Shakopee, and that'll be I believe the 12th through the 15th. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we'll be there. And Wendy's going to be there too, and so is Wanda. We just haven't told anyone yet.
Hey, we love our sacred animals.
Yeah, we do. You see where I'm at, the lights went off?
Yeah, you're doing the show in a library, and it looks like it had the auto light shut off.
Exactly. Kind of scary here, but I
Get
kind of look cool. Yeah, so support these businesses, and I really like what the governor said, really, that 2/3 of the money stays within the state or the city that you're buying these products from. That's huge.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me too. We were talking yesterday on the show with Representative Heather Keeler and talking about just more specifically supporting Indigenous and Native businesses and how that helps our economics too, and kind of like keep the money in the community and helping people out and their families and everything.
Yeah, definitely. And we were talking before the show how much just got to give State Representative Heather Keeler a shout out how great it is to have her come on weekly, and we have our friend State Senator Mary Kunish on, and just all the great guests. And then today, of course, we'll have our friend Robert Lilligren, who's we don't get a chance to talk about this, but he was the first Native American, gay city council member voted in the state in the city of Minneapolis, and
Hmm.
a real glass ceiling breaker.
Yeah, that's important to have someone in that position and just be a leader for so many other people to hopefully, again, pull up a chair to that table.
Right. What's the old saying? If you don't have a chair at the table, you're usually what's for dinner.
Yeah. Is that how your saying goes?
There's a couple of them, and one of them too is like, if you don't have I've heard this one too, if you don't have a chair at the table, bring up a folding chair and join in, or you're gonna, be
Yeah.
a part of the decision making, really.
Yeah, bring a folding chair. Yeah.
Hopefully one with padding on, because
Yeah.
I don't want to get too stiff while sitting in a folding chair.
One that's light to carry too.
Yeah.
So you can move to different tables and help out in different places.
Yeah. Wow. You've really stretched that analogy out there.
I was trying to, make the most of our time here.
Right on. Well, we're excited, and we're always grateful to have Robert Lilligren on, and again, the glass ceiling breaker. And also, I can say this because Robert's just a year older than I am, that he's an elder statesman now, really helping people get elected, help the community, and know how all these organizations work, and to be able to be there for Native Americans and our community specifically.
Yeah, I know he was coming from Hyde Erdrich's. She's the first poet laureate for the city of Minneapolis, and she was doing her poem reading today. I know Christine McDonald talked a little about that, so I'm excited to see how that went.
Exactly. Well, it's always good to see Robert, and he's going to be on our next segment here. And I see he's in the bullpen. He's all ready to go here, so we'll pull him up here in another minute or so. And let's hit the bumper music here and say, hey, you're listening to Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Oh,
We are Calusa Nation.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACDI, in Minneapolis.
Hoka, wecha.
I know.
That was funny. That was a new intro from our friend Dallas Goldtooth. Hey, we are here with Robert Lilligren, Native American Community Development Institute CEO, and always good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. I know you're a busy person, and it's great to have you on.
Bonjour Haley, bonjour Robert. It's great to be here, coming to you live from the beautiful Minneapolis American Indian Center.
Right on, right on. And tell our friends what you were doing there. Haley mentioned it a little bit, but maybe you could give us a play-by-play.
Oh my gosh, it's just wonderful. It's a celebration of Minneapolis' first ever, the inaugural Poet Laureate. It's Ojibwe poet from Turtle Mountain, Hyde Airdrek, renowned poet. You should have heard her intro. It was about 20 minutes long with all of her accolades and successes. So celebrating Hyde, this is the end of her term as the inaugural Minneapolis Poet Laureate. So she presented her poems and it was so loving and meaningful and relatable for Native people, especially people living here in the urban Indian community. And I got to tell you guys, it was just so beautiful and meaningful how she put the poem together. She sort of crowdsourced it. She's been out in the community gathering people's thoughts. She has engaged other poets here in the city. Right now she has some of her poets that she commissioned works from are reading right here in the grandparents' room, and it's just quite a celebration. The mayor was here, of course, and spoke, and the city council members, and just a lot of respected leaders, elders, and community members. It's quite a celebration.
Wow, that's great. And we're sorry we can't make it. And I'm in Madison, or not Madison, Black River Falls, and doing some work for the nation here. And that's so awesome that you were there.
Yeah, it's just a thrill to be here, and it was really something. Hyde is I think she was a founding board member of NACDI, and she served on NACDI's board quite a bit. That's our organization, Native American Community Development Institute. We own and operate All My Relations Arts Gallery, which Hyde helped move into our location, and it's really a legacy project of hers. And our Four Sisters Farmers Market got a shout out in the poem itself, which was wonderful. And quite a few people, City Council Member Andrea Jenkins and Hyde herself shouted out NACDI in their remarks as well. We're still partnering with Hyde. She's doing this great pop-up event with another young Turtle Mountain Quay poet, Tyra Payer, and NACDI's helping support that as well. So it just feels good. It feels like you're at home.
I'm wondering if in her poem she mentioned anything about that blow up colon that Native American Community Clinic has.
It wasn't quite that graphic. And so folks listening, one of our clinics, our Native American Community Clinic, often pulls out this giant inflatable colon to bring awareness to colon health, of course, which is important. And then you walk through it. You get to walk through a colon. We look forward to it every American Indian Month here.
That's right. And it was brought up in the play, in the one a national play, which I thought was pretty funny.
A Christmas in Ochopee, a new Native theater. That's actually up for a bunch of awards.
I didn't know that, but I was talking about the one that was at Walker, at the Guthrie. Yeah.
Oh, that was for the people. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That was a good one.
This was beautiful. We opened up with good words from our elder Richard Wright here tonight, and we had a drum group, a women's drum group sing, and it's good. And I love seeing so many non-Native people here. That this is probably their first experience of the Indian Center. Right now, I'm in a little office tucked away that belongs to our police precinct commander, Inspector Gomez, and he let me in here and set me up. And then right across the way is the gym, and they're playing lacrosse. There's a bunch of young people playing lacrosse.
That's Robert. The Indian Center got redone and expanded, and they kept that beautiful gym and some other aspects too. But I just feel not only has it physically been rejuvenated, but I also feel that it's been community rejuvenated too.
I think that's a brilliant observation, Robert. And there's a lot of energy here, right? A lot of Native people have come through here. There's a lot of spirits here. Sometimes I guess you can even see them here, and so it's just, it feels so good to preserve it. And we were opened and greeted by the director here, Mary Lagarde, a White Earth Ojibwe sister. And this project, and I know you both have been here and know how amazing it is, but this is a huge legacy of hers, right? She worked 7 years on this project from start to finish. I was honored to serve on the capital campaign for the project, and it's such a community asset. It's more the Indian Center that we deserve than I would say the last iteration of this was, which was a little almost like hidden and not too glam, and the water, water was just pouring through the ceilings whenever it would rain. And now this first rate, state of the art, and it's really beautiful.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a place to stand in the circle and talk, and it's acoustically put together where you can hear yourself in stereo. It's amazing. Have you experienced that at all?
Yeah, I have. I know what you're talking about. And the architect here, Sam Olbixson, another White Earth brother, and also the chair of the board here, the chair of my board at Native American Community Development Institute. And he is sort of the go-to Native architect, not just in the Twin Cities or Minnesota, but really nationally. He's a busy guy. But he told me that about that feature even before that was built, and I think it's very cool. Have you done it?
Yeah, somebody last time I was there, somebody pointed it out to me, and I think it was just before Haley mentioned New Native Theater did a short play during the adoption powwow right after that, and somebody said stand here, and I did it. I went, what?
Yeah, and you reminded me. I'm flashing back when I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and at a Native facility there that had drum-shaped space for meetings and ceremony and things, indoor drum space, and it was the same thing. They had that same phenomenon where you could stand in the middle of the drum essentially and hear yourself. It was, even if you whispered, you could hear it.
Yeah, and it came out really stereo, and you could hear yourself. It's almost like you had headphones and you're listening to yourself on Native Roots Radio.
Oh, I'm not wearing headphones now, so I hope my sound is okay.
No,
you sound great.
You sound good.
Okay, good.
We were kind of wondering where you were, because I know there's one of the things too. I do believe there's a media room at the Indian Center too, where they teach broadcasting and AV and all those things, multimedia stuff.
There is. It's a full studio, audio, video. It's state of the art. It's one of the features here to train people, especially youth, in media. Now, right here in the community, we have 2 youth-focused sound and video studios. We have McGizzy, of course, McGizzy Communications close by. And now here at the Indian Center, I don't know if you guys have been in it yet, but you might want to ponder doing some shows out here or something.
Or at least do a class, because that's what I used to teach.
Right? I'm going to walk in there and tell Mary you just volunteered to do classes here.
Yeah, right on. Hey, that's awesome. And then, you just threw me off on that, the voluntold. No, God, what was I going to say? But it had to do with
volunteering for work.
Oh no, what I was going to say too is that it isn't like the old days where we had to go to where did we both go there? You got a degree out of it, Brown Institute.
Brown Institute.
Yeah.
You have to be kind of a local to know what that is, but it was a broadcast training program, renowned. I mean, they were in business for 50 plus years. And my dad, who was kind of a high-profile media guy, on-air personality here, kind of a glass ceiling breaker, going into non-native spaces with his native identity. But that's where he graduated from and went on to illustrious career. And now look at you. You're following in his steps.
Well, that was funny. I remember going in there reading, and I think those were the days that I partaked in. I was a little hungover, and the guy that tested me, he was the guy that did weather on Channel 5. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I was so intimidated.
with those pipes. You should have been. Yeah, I'm sure he was dazzled. I know who you mean because he was still teaching there when I went there. Or did you go? Maybe I even went before you.
I don't know. We're the same. We're the same age.
Right. It was probably mid '80s maybe that I was there.
Oh, I went right after high school.
Oh, were they still in their old building on Lake Street or?
Yep. And he told me I read for him in his office, and he said, "This is what you have to do: read the paper out loud for 2 weeks and come back." And of course, I had things to do, so I never came back.
Oh, serious? I thought you went there.
No, but I remember. Yeah, you went there.
Yeah. So that was reading out loud was a big part of it, of course, because my name and my dad's name was recognizable. So I don't think I had to go through any sort of audition or anything. I think I was a legacy student there.
Wow, I feel like someday we should do a show about your dad. Because I always, as a teacher, I always want to be careful. I never compared siblings, said, oh, Johnny was like this and you're like that. I always tried to keep people separated, but I think it'd be great to do a kind of a tribute show of your dad.
I would love to participate in that.
Well, we gotta talk about it and get Haley involved, and we'll do some stuff because I know there's clips out there of him. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back. We're with Robert Lilligren and Haley Cherry.
Stay with us.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
It's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to struggle. And it's okay to ask for help. It's important that we support one another and work together to end the stigma so that we can start to tell a different story about mental health and well-being in our community. If you're looking for support for yourself or want to find resources for a loved one, visit makeitokay.org to get started. That's makeitokay.org.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
ATN FM 950 St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hey, it's Patrick. Is your home ready for the holidays? 'Tis the season to be jolly, and nothing makes me jollier than a clean home. With the holidays right around the corner, it's time to get ready for friends and family, and what better way to do that than with my friends at Zero Res? If you've never had Zero Res over at your home, take it from us. Zero Res was just out at the station to clean our carpets this past month. They're great to work with. Our carpets look great, and they even got some spots out that we didn't think would come out. They were on-time, professional, and we loved working with them, and the station looks great. So if you're looking for help getting your home into holiday shape, give our friends at Zero Res a call at 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off of an air duct cleaning. That's ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 952-ZERO-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. The holidays are coming soon, so don't wait and book now.
Hi, this is Frank Brown with Minuteman Press Uptown. It's election season. If you're campaigning for a candidate, your outreach needs top quality union printed materials, from direct mail and yard signs to door hangers, buttons, t-shirts, and flyers. Minuteman Uptown is your union shop to get people to the polls. We print everything. We'll keep your candidate top of mind, target your message with a laser focus, and maximize your voter turnout efforts. Get started today at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 12, Friday sunny with a high near 28, and Saturday sunny with a high around 41. Experience the comfort of Nightingale, your neighborhood bar and restaurant. Enjoy American classics like the famous Nightingale Burger, ginger tamari chicken wings, and duck pastrami Reuben. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with their full menu served until midnight. Takeout also available at nightingalempls.com.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1, U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and that's a great tagline. Hey, we're here with our friend Robert Lilligren, Native American Community Development Institute CEO, and all-around groovy guy. And it's always have to say a big peeny geegy for how grateful we are that you can spend time with us. And I really we mean that with the bottom of our heart. Is that the information and the positivity that you bring us here on Native Roots Radio, and also, you know, our allies really need to hear a lot of most of the stuff, unless we're joking around, that we're talking about. And I really appreciate you bringing this knowledge to our allies and our Native listeners out there.
Robert, you are too kind, and Migorch for saying all that, but I just appreciate the opportunity to get together with you and Haley, and if anything that we're saying people find useful or even amusing or entertaining, you know, I'm honored. So no, it's my pleasure and honor to be here.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this too, I was sitting in the dark here, and I had to get up because I hadn't moved in a while, so the lights turned off here. So, but then I turned it on, and now I can see the light. So
I love it,
and it's not a dream anymore. So, what else is going on in the Avenue? And I have been really wrestling with alligators here the last few months. Haven't been able to stop by and see you as much as I usually do.
I missed you, and especially with the market closed, right? The Four Sisters Farmers Market. So that's always the hot place to see and be seen here on the American Indian Cultural Corridor. There is a lot going on down here, a lot of good stuff, a lot of positive stuff. You know, the hosts or sponsors for this in Native American Community Clinic, they are planning a new building, so that's going to be going up soon. That's probably maybe the 6th new building right along the American Indian Cultural Corridor, East Franklin Avenue here. When I was sitting in the grandparents' room listening to Hyde Erdrich, the inaugural poet laureate, our Ojibwe sister from Turtle Mountain, a woman in the row in front of me turns around and she goes, "Oh, you're Robert Lilligren. I was on the Railvolution Tour, which is a national organization that promotes converting old rail corridors into bike pedestrian paths for active transportation." She goes, "I was here a few years ago on the Railvolution Tour, and you led a tour of the cultural corridor, and you pointed to this building, and you said, yeah, there'll be a new building here." And she said, "And now I'm back, and here's the new building. It's beautiful." And I said, "Yep, I wasn't lying."
You know, it's funny you bring that up, and I think about this quite often because I'm in a news group on Facebook that brings up old pictures of Minneapolis, and the work that you did on that bike trail. Talk a little bit about that. That's an amazing before and after pictures are amazing.
I assume you're talking about the Midtown Greenway?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to take any credit for that. I did serve on the board of the advocacy group that promoted the construction of it, but it wasn't even an abandoned rail corridor at the time. It was actually still being used, but there was a huge citizen and resident-based push and activism and advocacy to convert it into a bicycle pedestrian corridor, and it was such a good idea because it's submerged. It's sort of a trench for most of it. It connects the Mississippi River, or the Awamni, all the way to the lakes, Padamakoska. So it's about a 4-mile stretch that cuts directly through the entire city. And for me, I lived a half a block off of it in the Phillips area, which was kind of at the time a blighted, struggling area that nobody ever came into, and so we needed amenities where people and children especially could get out and move around, and so pushed for that. Our county here, Hennepin County, really led the charge. We had a very strong advocate for the community, and our county commissioner then, Peter McLaughlin, and again, but it was really a groundswell of community support that got it built. And the first segment was going to stop right before my neighborhood, but wiser heads prevailed, and so they brought it a few blocks into my neighborhood, just by my house. And the first phase ended at an at-grade crossing, which was rare within the trench. And so that's where it ended. And we'd see these people coming, biking into the neighborhood that never had stepped foot in Phillips before. And they'd stop their bikes where the trail ended, of course. And then they looked like pioneers or something. And they'd look off into the distance, like, I wonder what's over there. What's that? So the second phase was built. It went right through the Phillips area. And man, I will tell you, it just changed things, right? Suddenly people were activating this really derelict space, and people who never came into the Phillips area were coming in and interacting with the Phillips community, which not surprisingly was low wealth, so very brown community. And you just saw this interaction that was new and different and transformational.
Yeah, we had a guest on Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin. What's her name again, Haley?
Christy Goforth.
Yeah, I was just testing you.
Oh,
No, no, and I mentioned the bike trails in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities, because we interconnect through the cities, and she said we are like the gold standard, the Twin Cities.
Yep, there's been a lot of investment. And while I was in elected office, and even still at the Met Council, transportation is an area of interest of mine. And I remember during my time on Minneapolis City Council, and people can't believe this, but we rated first or second in bicycle commuting year round. And we have some tough winters here, and a lot is because of the investment. Midtown Greenway, I think, really galvanized action and really gave people vision of what investment it cost. A lot of money, but what an investment like that could do to transform communities and encourage people to bike. And so that's kind of the spine, I think, of the trail system here in Minneapolis. And now we're working to cross over into your part of the world, into St. Paul. There's that big push to do a river crossing over the Mississippi.
Wow.
And it's up and active right now, Robert. You should be going to get engaged a little, but river crossings are always controversial issues. There's an abandoned railroad bridge. Well, I guess it's not even abandoned. It does get used, but this really derelict looking railroad bridge there now. And so there's a lot of organizing and activity about crossing the river. And then we can tap into all those East Metro trails, right? It'll connect East and West Metro.
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder if it's that one by the old Shriners Hospital. Is that the railroad bridge?
I think it lands on the St. Paul side, right? On the East River, right? Yeah. So in that area.
Wow.
Well, I didn't realize this bridge was still being used. And if you look at it, it looks like it's about to fall into the river. It's old. And I just learned recently that like one train a week or something, or a couple of trains a week still use it. I'm like, dang.
I believe it. When I look at that bridge, I look at it and I think, I've never heard of the term gusset plates before, but this thing has gusset plates all over it.
Yep. So we'll see, but yeah, it's really an active movement right now. The Midtown Greenway Coalition, which is the advocacy group that I served on the board back in 1999, something like that, 2000. They're really organizing around it. There's energy around it. Sierra Club is interested in it. But I do know this from my public policy life. When you talk about a river crossing, a river span, things get controversial.
Well, I know it's interesting. One of the, we used to boat on the St. Croix River for many years. And
Sure.
one of the things, that old bridge, the lift bridge, was always for repair and this and that, but they turned it into a bike walkway, and it's changed downtown again. Instead of being a drive-through, now it's a destination place again.
Nice.
Downtown Stillwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bridge is still in place, though, right? It's there.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
bicycle path, and
Yeah.
it still lifts because boats go under it.
Sure.
But it's a bicycle and walking path, which, again, that bridge used to be a highway to people going in and out of Stillwater, and now it's Stillwater again is a destination place for all those small businesses that we want to support.
Yep, I love it. I'm a big fan. In the policy world, we call that active transportation. Biking and walking, transportation where you're the engine of it rather than a car.
Wow. That reminds me, I got to, do a little more exercise here. I've been gaining a few pounds.
It's the holiday season.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Haley.
Yeah.
You're supposed to gain weight. Well, and plus winter's coming, right? It's been cold here the last few days, so you need that extra padding and that extra insulation.
I need extra bigger pants too. But so we got a couple minutes left here. What else is going on in the corridor and in your life and with Native American Community Development Institute?
Yeah, well, there is a lot. We have a show up at All My Relations Arts Gallery, so I'd encourage people to step in there. We were just meeting with one of our national funders, Illuminative, that helps support our voter outreach and make voting a tradition, which is a MBAT, we call it. It's a year-round community engagement project that encourages Native people to be more involved, not just in voting, but in policy making and holding our elected people accountable. But we were reporting back on the activities from this election cycle, where I will tell you, MBAT rocked it. And these national folks are just amazed at what they're doing here. They want to come here and kind of learn from us. And our secret weapon, of course, is Ms. Jolene Jones, who lives here in Little Earth, and she is just a powerhouse, and she's so authentically engaged in the community. And that's the theory behind Make Voting a Tradition, is that it's peer-to-peer, it's native to native, right? And that Native people are more likely to be engaged if other Native people approach them, people they know. And then with our Four Sisters Farmers Market and Farm gearing up for the 2025 season, we have a great partnership along the Midtown Greenway with Hennepin County, our county here. We have an ever-growing urban farm, and now we're just implementing a medicine garden down there for the community's benefit down there along the Midtown Greenway. So lots happening.
That's awesome. Well, Robert, I got to also just say a shout out to Jolene and comfort prayers for her loss just recently.
Here.
Thank you so much for being on and spending time with us. We always get big numbers when you're on, so I appreciate you coming on.
Mark, I believe in that, but thanks for the flattery. Gigawatt, man.
Right on. We'll see you. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune into Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Step into the world of movement and native culture at Nimiwin, now showing at All My Relations Arts. Nimiwin is translated as Everyone Dance. This moving multimedia exhibition, curated by Josie Hoffman, delves into the connection between movement and identity, drawing inspiration from dance and powwow traditions. It showcases the work of Indigenous artists from Minnesota, emphasizing the fluidity of movement in our bodies, land, and community. Witness Nimiwin and its powerful expression on Indigenous art. On display now through January 18th at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Programming on Native Roots Radio is supported in part by MNsure. Looking for health insurance, but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance. Plus, get help from an expert so you save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 18th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Oh. Hey, that's like the favorite part of our show here.
I know, mine too.
Yeah.
We had good pitch on that one.
Thank you. Thank you. I have perfect pitch. I got to clear my throat. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. It's like that song, kind of. I forget who sings it.
Clear my throat?
Yeah. And it's like, nah, 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 nah.
No.
No. Okay. Well, I was going to say, I liked your MNsure read on that last commercial break there.
Well, thank you. One in a row.
Yeah. Well, I just want to shout out MNsure, like a little free advertising here, but MNsure helps me. Like, I'm 27 and I didn't know a single thing about how to get health insurance or dental insurance or like compare different rates or anything. And MNsure really, really helped me out with that. You can put plans side by side to compare pricing and like premiums and everything. So if you're looking for help to find a good insurance, I would definitely use MNsure.
Hey, that's a great idea, and I'm glad it's a great service. I want to just give a quick shout out to an ad that we ran just earlier, and it's about a 12-step program, AA, and I just want to say, anybody that needs to get help, please get help. There's plenty of organizations out there that are willing to help. So if you find yourself in dire need, just reach out to places like AA or treatment centers or your doctor or whatever. But it shows a lot of strength if you reach out for help. But I just wanted to say that, Haley, seeing we're in the holiday season too.
Yeah. And someone who's, I'm coming up almost on 2 years of sobriety, and holiday seasons can be hard and tempting for a lot of different reasons. But I want to congratulate you, Daga. You have your 40-year anniversary of sobriety coming up this weekend. So congratulations to you. That's really huge.
I appreciate that too. And part of the deal for me when I get a medallion or whatever in my 12-step group, it's all about gratitude and thanking the people that helped me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a reflection, I remember a story where I was still cashing my checks at a bar, and you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, Haley, but instead of going to the bank, you'd go to the bar and get your checks cashed back in the day. And the thought behind that is you'd stay at the bar and drink. And I wasn't drinking, but I almost did drink. And I remember talking to an older guy, which I thought had like 1 million years sobriety. And I think he had like 17 years sobriety. And I was like, listening to him. He was an older guy, and he asked me a question I was kind of complaining about. I almost got drunk that day. And he said, let me ask you a question. Like, have you ever heard of a bank? It's like,
So
because
you didn't even have to go there.
I was going like, oh my God, this almost happened. It's like, well, here's a suggestion to help you. Have you ever heard of a bank? And
Mm.
then it was like, oh yeah, we can put my money in the bank and I can go to the bank and cash the checks instead of the bar.
Yeah. That is, I didn't know that you could do that at a bar back in the day. Interesting. Good way to
Yeah,
keep you there, I guess, though.
yeah, and yeah, at least have one drink, right?
Yeah.
101. But yeah, so I mean, I guess my point too about talking about that, and I appreciate you congratulating me, but also talking about our sponsors is please, people that listen to our show, let them know that you're listening to Native Roots Radio when you call them, and it really helps us and helps the sponsor keep track of how things are working. And I remember we had when COVID first started, we were the only people that were selling advertising a COVID hotline,
Mm.
and that was still just before there was vaccines or just on the cusp of vaccines coming. And we did such a great job just running their ads that they had to hire like 4 more operators because people were calling so much and
Oh, that's
wondering.
right.
And it's like cool. It's like, oh wow, advertising works, but also it's cool that people are using the services that we think is, we won't like advertise things that are against our morals here. I guess is
Mm.
one of the
Yeah.
things I like to talk about too. We always talked about getting advertising from this tribe that did horse racing, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
we're not going to do that. I mean,
No.
we don't believe in that, and we have my wife who does the sacred animal section, and we'd be hypocrites to do that. And so
Yeah.
it's we've turned down a lot of money, but we also have kept our morals, and also we really believe in the people that advertise on our show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I wanna bring up, you mentioned Wendy. I wanna shout out her birthday's tomorrow.
Yes,
Happy birthday, early birthday, Wendy.
exactly. Yep, I'll be home hopefully around noon, and we're all going out to eat, and the little grandbabies too. So that'll
Cute.
be fun, and yeah. So
Lots
Wendy's
of stuff.
yeah, Wendy's co-founder here and of the show, and she's the rock of the family, and she shows that over and over again too with the grandchildren and helping out big time with the store where she's retired. She doesn't have to do any of this stuff, but
Yeah, Wendy's a rock star.
yeah,
For real.
I overkicked my coverage on this one.
Overkicked your coverage.
Do you get the analogy now?
No, I don't.
So I overkicked my coverage means that Wendy's a lot better wife than I deserve.
I hope she's listening to this right now.
No, I don't think she is. I'll have to send it to her though.
Mm.
She's with the grandbaby, so I don't think she is. She's got a full hands because not only is there one, there's 2 of them. And I
Yeah.
know one of them is kind of like me, needs attention and cries if you aren't holding him. So
Aw, he's a little
he
mini Robert. He even has
yeah,
your hairline, kind
that's
of.
right. He does. Too bad we should pop up a picture here, but
You know,
that
comparison.
yeah, it's coming in, but it's still the same hairline.
Yeah. Well,
Shoot.
hey, you got your Hinu's got her play starting up this weekend with New Native Theater.
Yeah. Yes. Excited that she's in another play here and she's following her dreams, and that's totally awesome.
Oh, and she's so good at it, Jaleesa McKee. Shout out you, Cuzzy, and all your work with New Native Theater and acting. And I'm excited I get to talk with Fawn and oh no, I'm totally forgetting her name. Sorry about that. But I'll be talking to 2 of the actors tomorrow that are in the audio play by Deanna Standing Cloud, which is titled Blood Quantum Physics.
And the dates, I guess, are coming up this weekend and the next weekend. It's a short run, but definitely well worth it. And so stop out there and support Native theater and a Native small business.
Yeah, exactly. Another great business, and United Theater does so much great work. And I know that the play Friday and Saturdays will be at 7 p.m., I believe, and then Sundays at 1, and it'll be this weekend and then the next weekend.
Yeah, we're going Sunday because birthdays and then the sobriety birthday party, and then Sunday we'll be able to go check it out. So we're excited and love to support the theater and love to support our daughter, my Hinu, which is first daughter.
Yeah, in Ho Chunk. Shout out.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, to learn more about New Native Theater, you can always learn more at newNativeTheater.org, and that's theater, R-E at the end.
Right on. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
And free Leonard Peltier. Now.
See you tomorrow.